All right. I think we're live. Hey, Body Soul Tribers. Okay, so I wanted to pop in today at one of our numbers. Here we are. It was just 3:33 Central Time in Arkansas. And if you're coming in, just say hello when you come in. I am so happy to be here on Valentine's Day. I've got my pink freezing cold turtleneck because it's so cold outside. And I'm wearing my crystal that I got when I went to Eureka Springs, which is a very cool place. So anyway, if you're joining us, just come in and say hi because sometimes I can't see all the comments. But today we're going to be talking about the frequency of love, which I'm playing in the background. If you can't hear it, that's okay. I'm going to put a link in the comments so you can experience this yourself tonight for Valentine's Day. So what are you guys doing? Put it in the comments if you're doing something with your person or maybe with your girlfriends, because it's like Singles Awareness Day is on February 15th or something. And so one year I went to this really awesome gathering, which was at Crystal Bridges. They did a really fun Valentine's ball, and it was for anybody. And they actually had it all organized to where you had wristbands if you were single or if you were married or if you were looking for someone special. So how many of you guys are looking for someone special or have someone special? Or maybe you're super happy being single. But anyway, there was something for everybody at this party. And I just thought that was such a cool concept. And I remember they also had a silent disco. It was really fun. So let me know if you guys can hear me okay. I've got my earbuds in because I have some notes. But anyway, it was awesome. And it was a Valentine's Black Hearts ball. And so I don't know if they're having it this year, but we can check it out. How many of you guys are members of like a fun museum or something like that gets together? So let me know where you're coming in from in the Body Soul Tribe today. My name's Lisa. I am a wellness coach, and I'm one of the ambassadors here in the Soul Tribe. And so we, love all of the learnings and teachings that come through here. And so if you're in the Body Soul Tribe and you're interested in coming on live, or maybe it's nerve-wracking for you to like hit the live button, but you feel like you might have a topic, or maybe you have a business and you want to, share some insights you learned about your business or something that could help someone else, that would be awesome too. So today, this is Frequency Friday normally for me, and I come live at 1:11 Central Time from Arkansas, Northwest Arkansas. However, if you're catching the replay, today was pretty exciting, you guys. Like today has already been a great day. I'm super excited for what's to come. I'm not going to give away any details quite yet, but I just love talking with other coaches. I love talking with women on Valentine's Day who are all business minded. So if you've had a good business day so far, drop a thumbs up or a heart in the comments below. I love to get the engagement going and get you guys super excited for just really connection today on Valentine's Day. So happy Valentine's Day. My name's Lisa. I'm a wellness and also soul and business coach, but I really love intuitive soul. And with that, I love sound healing and I love meditation. So some of you guys may do these meditations in the morning. I wish I could. I always do the replays now because I'm at that time at work. But I love the meditations, and I strongly encourage all of you guys to start cultivating like your own mini practice. So whether you mix it up and do a meditation with us here in the tribe, or if you're able to replay some of our live videos, I have some meditations as well. And a lot of our gurus and ambassadors have different programs that you could totally check out. So drop a link if you have that. Kelly, I know that you have a program going on right now. So anyway, I support all of you guys here. I really want to be encouraging. So if you need any help or navigating what's going on right now, Virginia just launched Alignment 2.0. Are you in Alignment 2.0 yet? Hopefully you are. It's going to be off the charts, you guys. Like, I want to tell you, I'm manifesting things like very, very interesting chain of events that's been going on. And think big, think global, right? So like, what are your goals for your relationships this month? That's a great question, right? So talking about frequencies, this frequency that is playing in the background is the frequency of love. And that frequency is 528 hertz, which is Hz measured on a scale, total nerdy scale that I love. And we're talking about sound. And so 528 hertz is where the love frequency is. And the love frequency surrounds your heart chakra. So we have three areas in our heart chakra, and those extend out to all the way of the different meridians and energy points in our body. So it's super awesome once you get into this research and you're understanding the map and the flow of Kundalini, you'll understand more about those energy centers. So I'm not going to talk about the heart chakra today because I'm doing a course about that, but I am going to tell you that I'm going to put that link for the 528 hertz frequency, the one that I'm listening to manifest everything that's going on right now in the way of my relationships. And I might get a little personal if that's okay. But let me see. Are you guys commenting? Okay, cool. Oh, hey, Jamie. Hey, girlfriend. Misty. So happy that you're here too. Yeah, so heart-shaped chicken with mozzarella and red sauce. Oh my gosh. Is that what you're making, Jamie, for your kids right now? I love that. I love heart-shaped anything. So I just went to shopping errands a little bit this morning, and I found like an I heart you in a cookie cutter. So I was going to make like gluten-free, like healthy cookies with like maybe acai berry. I bought like chocolate covered acai berries, and I was like, can I put those in cookies? So anyway, so I was going to do something like that, Jamie. So that sounds so much fun. That's what you're doing tonight, right? Got it. So anyway, so I wanted to come to you for the 528 hertz frequency. Yes. And I want to post that in the comments, but I also wanted to mention, if you're not familiar with the solfeggios, the 528 frequency follows in line with the solfeggio. So happy Frequency Friday on Valentine's Day. And I'm so excited that you guys are here because you get frequencies. And if Rolga's here, she just joined. Hey, Rolga. When we get into that power and alignment, doing like yoga or meditating, it feels so good in our heart chakra, and we just open it up. So Rolga was talking earlier about the time that I came in was 3:33 because there was something big that happened today, right around 1:11, 1:30. And I can't wait to talk more about that when I can. So it's like everything's coming together, you guys, and I want you to feel this energy. It's so good. And so feel the energy about aligning with our love, with our heart chakra today, with the frequency that I'll drop in the comments. And Rolga says, hi, friends. So yeah, so this one is known for DNA healing, and it's also known for activating higher consciousness. And I really liked Kelly's live the other day. Did you guys see Kelly when she said she was comparing like the germ theory back a long time ago with Reiki? So Reiki definitely is a frequency, and it definitely probably centers a lot around 528. Definitely. And so what we want to convey to people is that this is a higher level activation of learning about energy. And when we talk about this, we have taken courses. You know, I'm a Reiki master. Kelly's a Reiki master. There's a couple other people in the tribe. And so it wasn't just one like online course. I had to study for 2.5 years to become a Reiki master. And I took 3 different like longer courses over the course of a weekend. And anyone can really learn it if they have the want and the desire. But I also believe that when we raise our vibration together through the tribe, we become a really strong channel. So if there is Reiki in the tribe, or if there is energy work, or if you are taking courses, or maybe a challenge or a class with energy work, then you also are able to become a channel of love and healing for that 528 hertz frequency. So how good does that sound, right? And so you then also will expand your energy coming from your heart chakra. So I think that's amazing. So, hey, Rolga, can you hear me okay? Because you're like my techie. The amazing tech knowledge that Rolga has is just beyond me. So let me know if you can hear me okay. So I wanted to talk to you also about the number 333. Okay, so this is really, we have a numerologist that Jen Kohler does called the Daily Pulse. I love that. And actually, she really inspired me, Jen, if you're watching the replay, to really look this up. But I have really felt like lately I know I have divine protectors. And so 333 is the number that represents divine protectors. And I have been asking for divine protection of this body soul tribe, of the social soul tribe, and for us to be so integral with each other, to have that unity, to have that frequency and that vibration that we have. So, okay, Jamie says yes. So I'm hoping you can hear me. Oh, yes, good. And so one of the messages that I'm getting that about 333, when I looked this up from one of the websites, and I'll just tell you, it's from willowsoul.com, that basically that there's a few meanings to 333. And I notice I have 3 people on right now. Like that's another symbol of 3. So there's 4 3s. Okay. So it's really cool. It says, this is comforting to you. It is a message that says, do not be afraid. Do not be afraid. There are archangels that are watching over us and your higher power, whatever you believe. For me, I was raised Methodist, and I sang in the choir and played piano for my church for lots and lots of years. And when I played flute in the orchestra, and there was a place that we sang together called Stetson University. And I got the chance and the honor to receive a women's scholarship to go sing at Stetson in the choir there. And when I did that, I was only maybe 16 or 17 years old. And I went, and when we practiced with a group of probably 75 or 80 people in this choir. And we were in a cathedral, like a chapel, this beautiful chapel cathedral. And when everyone would sing together, it was like angels were singing, and I was like blown away. Like at moments of the time that I was listening, I had to like stop to cry. Like that's how powerful it was. And I just said to myself, this is what heaven sounds like, only probably a million times better, because we were still practicing. So anyway, so I thought, okay, how can I recreate that? And so I went to as many chapels with choirs as I could when I was in that age group. So when I got the chance and the opportunity to go to Europe, I went into Chartres, and Chartres is in Paris. And when you go into that cathedral, that was built by some amazing architect. And there's how many of you guys watch Gaia, right? So on Gaia, I subscribe to Gaia and I love it. I totally like endorse Gaia. But if you get the chance to go do a subscription or sample Gaia, they have this show, I think, called Codes. It's called Codes, I think, or The Code. But they have this episode about Chartres and this cathedral in Paris. And so I went in and I walked in the doors, and of course it's dark in there, but you see the light through the stained glass, and it's all like circular pattern stained glass, beautiful stained glass. And there's candles everywhere, like a sea of candles. And people are praying and they're walking in and looking around. Some people are talking very, quietly, taking pictures. Maybe there's a tour. From what I remember, I remember going in and just almost being led to the pew, up by where, the minister would stand for the service. And they did lots of different services. You could go in and, visit different cathedrals and actually attend a service. And I think we even did that, but it wasn't at Chartres. It was at a different cathedral. So I walked in and I was just led, it was like an angel was taking me and pulling me forward and saying come over here. I'm going to show you this. And I walked over here and I looked up and I just I was breathless. It just took my breath away. I'll never forget it. It was one of those moments when you just couldn't you just couldn't forget. So then I remembered lighting a candle. And when I watched the code or the codes, whatever it was on Gaia the other night, I saw the same place that I was. And it was so weird. It was surreal. I was I was there. I did that because there was someone lighting a candle. And I was I did that in that spot. It was crazy. And so they talked about, this does have a point, by the way. They talked about the architect and how he built it all based on numbers, all based on frequency, all based on 333 and 444 and all of the frequencies, 222. And how he did it, they did a computer model. Rolga, you would love this. They did a computer model of how he built it, with light beams, and it crossed. And it was this number code is the way they built Chartres. And I had been inside Chartres right after that experience at Stetson, singing and being around, hearing what angels in a choir would sound like. So it was just so powerful, and it just moved me forever to actually be one of the reasons why I do sound healing today and why I'm so interested in the frequencies. And so that's the message, is do not be afraid. You are comforted. And the other meaning of 333 is you are protected every step of the way. You're protected every step of the way. And I love this quote by Wayne Dyer. There's been a lot of Waynes in my life recently. Do you guys ever meet someone and their name, then their name comes up again, and then someone else's name the same, and you might have a client or a patient or somebody, same name. It's the names, right? So that's a cool thing too. But anyway, Wayne Dyer, he wrote A Course in Miracles. How many of you guys have read that book? It's a really good book. I have it. It's a navy blue cover. It looks almost like a devotional or a hymnal, and it's somewhere in my house. So if I can find it, I'll take a picture and post it. But it's A Course in Miracles, and it says, he quotes this. He says, if you knew who walked beside you on your path you have chosen, you could never experience fear or doubt again. And that, my friends, is the equivalent of the angels are walking with you. You are protected. 333, do not be afraid. This is also a message of encouragement and strength. And the message that is written on willowsoul.com is that all things are possible. So sometimes it's something seems really improbable or maybe it's impossible, but you say that's not likely or something like that. So how many of you guys have a situation where you're like, this is really tough. Like I need to turn this around. I don't know how to turn this around. So right now my son is struggling a lot in reading, and we've got to turn it around because he's smart. He just isn't like turning in his work, and, you know, little personal, but basically like we have a tutor for him, and he has ADHD, and we really are supporting him. Like he has an IEP plan. He has good vitamins. He has like everything he could possibly, but it's down to him to say, I really care about this, to turn in my paper, and I'm changing his diet. I'm, you know, all of this stuff. And when it comes down to it, like the struggle is real. And so how many of you guys have something like that, that's personal, and that you feel maybe a fear or a tiny bit of doubt about something, or just a worry that's, you don't even want to call it a worry, but you just want to call it like, oh, it's a little concern I have, right? So if that's, yeah, Kelly says all the time. Yeah, so oh, you have the teacher version of the book, Kelly. Ooh, I don't know if I have that version. Hey, Angela. Oh my gosh. Yes. So, so anyway, so my personal struggle was like, you know, I like never had that feeling in school. Like I was really focused. Like, in fact, I went on the other side. I was like perfectionistic about everything. Like I didn't get a bad grade because I was too over the top with it. And I've learned about that since that time. But he has this other struggle. And so how can I be there for him in the right frequency, so that I'm not like making him feel bad about not wanting to read, or like, what is the right frequency for that? And the answer today and always is love. And it's 528 hertz. It's the heart chakra. It's a prayer. It's God. It's whatever it is that you know as your connection to source. And that message is that 333, here I am at 333, and it is to all things are possible. And anything is possible in this tribe. Anything is possible with love. And I truly believe that so much, because I know that the way I handled talking to him after the parent-teacher conference this morning we had at 8:15, what is different than the way, you know, his dad talked to him. I spoke to him from love. I had that 528 in my mind during the entire conference. And I said, this is about loving this child and making sure he feels love about reading and about school, and not making him feel bad. Right? So you guys know that I'm passionate about helping people. And so it's hard when you can't help someone do it because they have to do it themselves. And so that comes with love and patience. So the quote was from Wayne Dyer. It was, if you knew who walked beside you on the path you've chosen, you could never experience fear or doubt again. And my story with that, besides Chartres, walking into this cathedral and just being like, like led, like I wanted to sit or just stand for a moment, and it was like a pull to the front of this cathedral by a divine angel. And I don't talk about stuff like that a lot, you know, because I mean, who says that? But I do. And I think we should all talk about it more. My dad had an experience once where he was actually pulled back, and it was on a road. He was stepping across a road, and a big car would have hit him if he hadn't been pulled back by something. And that was a divine intervention from an angel, that he's still with us today because of that force. So it's like a force. So the story with it, and I may have told, I don't know if I've told any of you all, but when he says in the quote, if you knew who walked beside you, if you knew, well, where I go with that is, I went into a patient's room one day, and I was discharging the patient for the nurse, because I was there as the nursing instructor, and I had 7 students all over the hospital, and 2 of them were up on this med surge floor. And they were up on the med surge floor, so I had a check off to do to observe one of them doing a discharge and discontinuing an IV and reading her the instructions and maybe checking her blood sugar one more time or something. And I don't remember any of that. I just remember going into the room because I told the student, meet me in here. I'm going to get started. You go do your AccuCheck over there. So she comes in, and the woman in the bed who was going home looked at me and said, can I tell you something? And I said, sure. And the student ran out to go do the other thing. And within like 2 minutes, she said, I don't speak about this a lot, but if you look outside this window, we were on like 5 tower. We were like on 5th floor of a hospital. She said, there are 3 archangels that are surrounding this building like a triangle that are taller than the hospital. And they're here for you. And I was like, oh, well, that's really good news. I think I said, awesome. Okay, I definitely need that right now. You know, and so I was going through something. It was a really hard time. I could probably tell you in another live about that, but I was like, okay, she has something to tell me. And so she was telling me this story about how we don't realize how big they are, how big they can be. And so I was like, okay. And she's like, look, she's like, they are right there. And she could see them. This lady could see them. And then, so she says something to me like, your grandmother says to you, your grandmother's here. And I said, yes. She's always like around, right? She's so stylish too. And I said, what is she wearing? And she said, well, she's got a hat on and matching shoes. And I said, oh, well, that's definitely her. And I said, well, what does she want to say? You know, because just tell me quick, because there's students coming back in. And she says, well, she says she sees what you're doing, and she knows that you're on the right path, and May is a celebration month or something. And I said, yes, it is. And she says she's here with you. And I said, what's her name? I was like, kind of still doubtful, right, at this point. And she's like, her name's Barbara, and that's her name. And so I knew when she said my grandmother's name, I knew when she said my grandmother's name, I was like, this lady's the real deal. Okay. Like there's no guessing that twice. There's nothing written on my outfit or anything, you know, no name tag. And so I said, okay. And the student comes back in. So immediately I was like, all right, well, we'll carry on with our, you know, discharge here. So we read all the instructions, got her in a wheelchair, took her downstairs. This guy picked her up that was her ride. And you know, it's supposed to be her husband, or I can't remember. And he looked kind of scrappy, you know, and I was like, okay, well, she's safe. And so she was able to get up. She felt better. And she just kind of winked at me, you know, got in the truck, never saw this woman again. Right. But that always stuck with me, that those archangels were surrounding that bed tower of the hospital, and they were here for me, but they were here obviously for the entire hospital, looking over the hospital. So I was like, it's not just me, but she said they're here. And that just means that if you really knew who walked beside you, right, how big they are, how powerful and divine they are, then we would never have any need to fear or to worry again. So I just love that, because it was kind of like this not conventional. And I think my student even said something on the way back, like, oh, well, that was kind of weird, because she was like very, you know, religious Baptist, and there's nothing wrong with that. But my mom was raised Baptist, but she just like was like, what was that? What was she talking about? You know? And I said, here's one thing, you always listen to your patients. And that was all I said. I just said, you always listen to your patients. You never know what they're going to say. You never know how it's going to change your life. You never know what you're going to say to change their lives in a positive way. And she was just like, like zipped. And so I didn't think she wanted, she didn't quite grasp at that moment, but maybe later it sunk in, hopefully it did. But anyway, so that quote just reminded me that we are not alone and that we can call upon this beautiful number, this beautiful meditation of 528 love frequency. And it is here for you. You are guided, you are divine, and you are so, so looked after by the universe, however you believe that. And so think of solutions rather than problems. So today, if you're going through something challenging, kind of like I did, I'm trying to get him to do his worksheets in there, like he's over there in the other room. There he is. I see him. Do you see him over there, guys? So, we're going to go back to doing that. He knows mom's on work hour and stuff like that. So he has his role to play and his own path. My son does, but think of solutions rather than problems today. And also 333 means the ascended masters are guiding you, which I just love. They're guiding you to move forward. So if you're stuck on something like, maybe with reading or a project or work or adoption or divorce or a marriage or something, if something is holding you up, then really pay attention because there's energy shifts. We're coming up on a Mercury retrograde. Angela can probably tell you about that. Angela, if you're going to have a special about that. I heard something today about the retrograde that was really cool. It said the retrograde is actually about reconnection with ourself. And I thought, oh, that was the best way I've ever heard it said. Reconnection with ourself. So, that's one thing that the retrograde could teach us is that it's not such a bad thing. It's basically we need to connect in with ourselves. So do that today. And, if you're watching the replay, then just remember that you are not alone. Like you are divinely guided. And this frequency 528, it comes from the heart chakra, and the heart chakra has a certain chant that you can use your voice, so I think, did anyone else? Okay. Wayne, are you here? So Wayne is here. And so he really has helped me understand that in that choir, in that moment when I was at Stetson University, listening to this 75 voices all around me going up to this pipe organ that was just phenomenal, you guys, that we need to use our voice and do the frequency with your voice. And so if you're chanting or you're doing something with the frequency, Wayne, if you have any tips on that for 528, the heart chakra, Om is a great place to start, and moving up to the heart chakra with all the chanting and the mudras that go along with it. So this is Frequency Friday. Wayne, Kelly, already. And so if the signal's cutting out, I will, I'll come back and highlight anything else in a post for you guys. But I did put that today. You must remember about Valentine's Day, other than the love frequency, that the origins of Valentine's Day, you guys, do you want to know? Well, I posted it there, but it was a pagan festival in February that was really rooted back with the feminine aspect of women, and they would do this little ritual, and Angela probably knows what I'm talking about, with a goat. It involved a goat hide, and it was not about fear, but Roman women welcomed the this ritual because they believed it would make them more fertile in the coming year. And so it was about fertility. So this is really a celebration and a frequency of love and fertility. So I thought that was kind of interesting because it was just really a belief that they were fertile on Valentine's Day with this ritual. And the bachelors would choose, the bachelor men of the city would choose a name and become paired up for the year with the woman. and that ended usually in marriage. So that was kind of the history of it. So it was called Lupercalia. So it has shifted a little bit. So I wish you guys happy Valentine's Day today and happy Frequency Friday. I'll post the 528 Hertz in the comments, and I'll see you guys next Friday at 111. And today was 333 because we're special. We're divinely guided by our ascended masters. And you are supposed to move forward today with whatever it is that is blocking you. You are divinely guided to move forward and to not be afraid, to know that you're comforted and know that you're protected with every step of the way. So I'm Lisa. I'm in the Body Soul Tribe here with you guys as an ambassador, here to help you. So reach out to me, and I'll see you guys next Friday. Thanks for joining. Bye, guys.